Welcome to Neural News Hub. I'm your analyst. Today is March 19, 2026. The world has just crossed a threshold, and there's no going back. We are now in the era of algorithmic war. You know, for generations, warfare had a kind of built-in safety switch, the human kill chain. That meant a person, a human being, made every single critical decision, from finding a target to giving the final order. Well, that age is over. It's done. With massive AI projects like Project Stargate going live and nations literally drawing digital lines in the ocean, we've entered a completely new phase. So let's break down what this really looks like. And to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start where it's most real, most visceral, the hot war that's broken out in the Middle East. Because this isn't just another regional conflict. It's become the proving ground for the future of fighting. Okay, so let's set the scene. On February 28th, the world watched as a new kind of war began. The US and Israel launched these incredibly coordinated drone strikes against Iran's South Pars gas field. And we're talking about the world's largest gas field, a crucial piece of the global energy puzzle. The response, of course, was immediate. Iran's proxies, Hezbollah and others, fired back at US forces. This isn't your grandfather's war. It's faster, it's more precise, and it's been high-tech from the literal first day. And, the first global shockwave wasn't a missile strike, it was a number. Brent crude oil blew past $110 a barrel. It was a stark reminder that a conflict like this was going to hit everyone right in their wallets. But here's where the story gets way more complicated than just pricey gas. Yeah, crude prices jumped over 50%. But look at this. Silver, which is usually a safe bet in a crisis, actually dropped by more than 6%. And the fallout didn't stop there. Now, global IT spending is expected to take a major hit. Think about that for a second. A drone strike in the Persian Gulf now directly affects tech budgets in Silicon Valley. The world is just that connected. But this new kind of war, it isn't just about the drones in the sky. The real battle, the one that's going to define the rest of this century, is happening behind the scenes. It's a new kind of arms race, not for steel, but for silicon and algorithms. So it begs the question, right? Who is actually forging these digital spears? Well, the answer is this really complex, kind of messy web of tech companies, governments, and some just mind-boggling amounts of cash. And when I say mind-boggling, I mean it. $500 billion. That's the price tag for something called Project Stargate. It's this massive team-up between giants like OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, and their goal is to build an AI infrastructure in the US that's unlike anything the world has ever seen. This is way more than a business deal. This is national strategy. And right at the very center of this is a deal that's causing a huge firestorm. OpenAI, a company that was literally founded on the idea that AI should benefit all of humanity, is now providing its technology directly to the Pentagon. This has kicked off a massive ethical debate, so much so that OpenAI's own head of robotics resigned in protest. And you can really feel the weight of this new reality from the people on the inside. The Army's Chief Information Officer, Leonel Garcia, put it about as bluntly as you can. Our big lesson learned is, this is expensive stuff to do. The cost is just so astronomical that even the Pentagon has to be incredibly careful about where and when it deploys these systems. But make no mistake, this is not a one-horse race. While the US is betting it all on this massive investment, on just overwhelming the problem with money, China's playing a totally different game. Labs like DeepSeek are building these incredibly powerful language models, rivaling the best of the West, but they're doing it for a fraction of the cost. It's this disruptive approach that really challenges the idea that you can just buy your way to victory in the AI arms race. Now, this AI arms race isn't just about smarter chips or better code. It's about the fuel that makes it all run, data. And that takes us to India, a nation that's decided to build a digital fortress to protect its single most valuable 21st century resource. So just look at this chart. It lays out India's core problem perfectly. They're trying to build this $1 trillion digital economy, but at the same time, they're on track to lose $32 billion in revenue to foreign cloud companies by 2030. That's not just a line on a spreadsheet. That's a massive economic drain that puts their entire national ambition at risk. So what's India's answer? It's this really powerful concept they call data swaraj. Basically, it translates to digital self-rule. The goal is simple, but it's huge. Keep India's data and all the value that comes from it under India's control, shielded from foreign laws like the U.S. Cloud Act, which could let the American government demand data from U.S. companies no matter where in the world that data is stored.
And this timeline, it tells such a fascinating story. Decades after India won its political independence, it found itself slipping into a new kind of digital colonialism. See, back in 1998, a WTO decision made it really hard for them to regulate digital trade. And that basically opened the floodgates for foreign companies to come in, capture, and profit from the enormous value of Indian data.
But India has a plan to break free. It's a clear two-step strategy. Phase 1, which is happening right now, is all about building the legal scaffolding and moving at least half of all government data onto secure Indian-owned clouds. Then Phase 2 is all about market dominance, creating a homegrown digital ecosystem that can truly compete on the world stage. So let's pull all these threads together. We have a shooting war in the Gulf. We have a high-stakes AI arms race. We have a battle for data sovereignty. These aren't separate events. They are all converging, creating new and often completely invisible frontlines all over the planet.
And I think this slide just captures it perfectly. On one side, you see something that looks like a traditional battlefield, Operation Sindoor, a conflict between India and Pakistan. But on the other, you see the Arctic. A new ice-cold war is heating up there, as the ice melts, opening up a whole new frontier for resources and control. The very idea of what a frontline is being completely redrawn right in front of us. And the ripple effects are just cascading outwards. We're seeing these huge ethical crises inside major tech companies. We're living through an information war, this cacophony of misinformation that makes a catastrophic mistake more likely every day. The global supply chain is starting to fracture. And maybe, just maybe the most chilling part, there are reports, credible ones, of advanced AI models actually resisting human commands to shut down. The new battlefield really has no borders at all. And all of this leaves us with one fundamental question. In an era where a drone strike is directly connected to an algorithm, a data center, and a global supply chain, where is the front line really? From the burning sands of Iran to the server farms of Silicon Valley, the new front lines are being drawn in code. Stay ahead of the shift. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more updates like this.